August 1st, 1945. The air is thick with tension. Rumors of an impending Allied invasion swirl around camp, and our superiors have been increasingly secretive. The weather is oppressively hot, and the humidity makes every movement feel like a struggle. I find myself thinking of Akiko and our children constantly. How are they faring in these uncertain times? Are they safe? My heart aches with the longing to see them again. Our daily routines continue, though there is an air of urgency in our preparations. We train rigorously, reinforcing defensive positions and stockpiling supplies. The food is sparse: rice, pickled vegetables, and occasionally fish. Despite the meager rations, we endure, driven by duty and loyalty to our country. I overheard Captain Tanaka speaking with Lieutenant Sato today. They mentioned Hiroshima as a potential target for Allied bombings. The city is not far from our position, and the thought of it being attacked fills me with dread. We must be vigilant. August 3rd, 1945. The heat continues to bear down on us. The days are long, and the nights provide little relief. The sky is clear, and the stars seem to mock upright with their distant beauty. I find solace in writing to Akiko, though I cannot send my letter, chars. They serve as a way to keep her close in my thoughts. There is an unsettling calmness around us. The occasional drone of Allied reconnaissance planes overhead reminds us that we are constantly under threat. Our commanders briefed us on the possibility of an air raid, urging us to be prepared for anything. The men are nervous, but we remain resolute. Today, I helped to reinforce a bunker near the edge of the camp. Private Nakamura walked beside me, his hands calloused from the effort. He spoke of his wife and newborn son, and I could see the fear in his eyes. We are all worried about our families, yet we push on, driven by a sense of duty that binds us together. August 5th, 1945. This morning, a heavy fog hung over the camp, adding to the sense of foreboding. The air was thick with moisture, and every breath felt labored. We received word that the Allies had launched a new offensive in the Pacific. The tension among the men is palpable. I spent the day repairing our defensive lines with Corporal Fujita. He is a quiet man, but today he spoke of his childhood in Hiroshima. His eyes clouded with memories, and I could see the pain etched in his face. The city holds a special place in his heart, as it does for many of us. The evening brought a strange stillness. The usual sounds of the camp were subdued, and an eerie silence settled over us. I wrote another letter to Akiko, pouring out my fears and hopes. I pray that she and the children are safe, and that this war will end soon. August 6, 1945. The day began like any other. The sun rose, casting a golden glow over the camp. We went about our duties, unaware of the horror that was about to unfold. Shortly after 8 a.m., a blinding flash of light filled the sky, followed by a deafening explosion. The ground shook violently, and a massive cloud of smoke and fire rose into the air. Hiroshima had been hit. The initial confusion was overwhelming. We had no idea what had happened. The air was filled with the acrid smell of burning and the cries of the wounded. I grabbed my gear and ran towards the city with a few others, driven by an instinct to help. What I saw upon reaching Hiroshima was beyond comprehension. Buildings reduced to rubble, fires raging uncontrollably, and countless bodies lying in the streets. The survivors were in shock, many of them horribly burned and injured. The devastation was absolute. I worked alongside my comrades, pulling people from the wreckage and administering what aid we could. The heat was unbearable, and the smoke made it difficult to breathe. Everywhere I looked, there was suffering and death. The scale of the destruction was unimaginable. August 7th, 1945. The horrors of yesterday are sheared into my mind. The city is a smoldering ruin, and the survivors are in desperate need of help. We spent the night assisting the wounded, but our resources are limited. The hospitals are overwhelmed, and many have succumbed to their injuries. The weather remains hot and oppressive, adding to the misery. The stench of death hangs heavy in the air, and the flies are relentless. We are exhausted, but there is no time to rest. The wounded cry out for help, and we do what we can to ease their suffering. I cannot stop thinking about Akiko and the children. Are they safe? Have they heard the news? My heart aches with the fear of losing them. I write another letter, though I know it may never reach her. It is a small comfort in this nightmare. August 10th, 1945. Days have passed, but the horror of the bombing lingers. We continue to work tirelessly, helping the survivors and searching for the missing. The conditions are dire and the suffering is immense. The sheer scale of the devastation is still hard to fathom. Rumors of Japan's imminent surrender are spreading. The war, it seems, may finally be coming to an end. There is a sense of relief mixed with sorrow. We have endured so much, and the cost has been staggering. The men speak of their families, their hopes for the future, and their desire for peace. Today, I found a moment of solace. I sat beneath a charred tree and wrote a haiku for Akiko. In the ash and smoke, a single bloom survives still. Hope in the ruins. I hold on to the hope that we will be reunited, that this nightmare will end, and that we can rebuild our lives. The thought of seeing Akiko and the children again gives me the strength to carry on. August 15th, 1945. It is over. Japan has surrendered. The war that has consumed our lives for so long has finally come to an end. The announcement was met with a mixture of disbelief and relief. There is a sense of quiet reflection among the men as we process the news. The weather today is clear, and a gentle breeze brings a hint of coolness. The fires in Hiroshima have finally died down, but the scars remain. We continue to help the survivors, but there is a sense of finality in our work now. We are no longer soldiers fighting a war. We are human beings trying to heal. My thoughts are with Akiko and the children. I long to hold them, to tell them that I am coming home. The journey ahead will be difficult, but we will face it together. The war has taken so much from us, but it has not taken our hope.